The Jaylen Brown smear campaign is insane. Let me paint this picture for y'all. Let's say, for instance, you in the NBA. You go win an NBA championship. You get named the Finals MVP and the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, all in the same run. You a 5-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA player. Last year, your duo mate tears Achilles, so y'all down and out. People doubting y'all. Motherfuckers thinking y'all ain't gonna win a championship. Woo wop the bam. You come back, lead your team to damn near 60 wins, averaging 28 a night. You second in the Eastern Conference. You finished 6th in MVP voting. At a point in time in the season, you were a top 3 candidate. And then after all that, your team trades you. You do all that and your team trades you. Not the other guy. Not the guy who had a career-altering injury. They trade you for a 36-year-old on a horrible contract. A 36-year-old on a horrible contract. That's all they get back for you. That's tough. A couple draft. Let me add that in. Let me do my full analysis bag. A couple draft picks. And so people are like, why is this whole? Why have they been trying to trade him for so long? Like, it's like every offseason they trying to trade this guy. Why? And it's nothing basketball related. It's quote unquote because you have a disease. Not a basketball problem, but a disease. But not like no Magic Johnson press conference type disease. We talking about a disease that you just too smart. You not a shut up and dribble basketball type of a player. Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Jay Lynch. Welcome to the video. And today we're gonna be discussing why this whole Jaylen Brown smear campaign is weird. So if you've been living under a rock or you just not tapped into the NBA, on July 1st, the Boston Celtics traded Jaylen Brown, 2024 Finals MVP, 2024 Eastern Conference Finals MVP, someone who has been on their team for damn near a decade, been with them as they built up to the pinnacle of winning the championship. They traded him to the Philadelphia 76ers, the team that they blew a 3-1 lead against in the first round this year. Yes, the team that just knocked them out of the playoffs. They traded him to them. And what do you get back? You get Paul George. Yes, Paul George is nice. I guess I see you next lifetime. You know, Mr. Erykah Badu when he hooping. But the thing is, he's 36. He's 36 and he got suspended 25 games during the season for God knows what. He might have been off the blue chew. He might have been off the, I don't know. He might have been off an antidepressant. You know, Paul George has battled with the mental health. So, hey, God bless. But you trade a franchise centerpiece for a 36-year-old on a horrible contract and towards the end of his career for a couple of first and second round draft picks. I guess, yeah, maybe one of them turns into Nikola Jokic. Who knows? But still, it just doesn't make sense. But I have heard the whole private equity conversation. That's something to pay attention to, and I kind of believe it. But still, the fact that they traded him to a division rival in the 76ers, like, why would you give at least trade him to the West or trade him out of the division? Like, you gonna give your op the best product? Like, what we doing? The weird thing about this is Jaylen Brown never publicly came out and said that he wanted to be traded. He was being shopped by the organization. It's kind of weird that even his mate and Jason Tatum didn't like address the front office like, yo, what we doing here? Nah, we not doing that. Like, I feel like he could have put a halt to all of that. They kept shopping him around, and this has been pretty consistent throughout his tenure as a Boston Celtic, and he stayed a professional throughout it all. Came in each and every season and just got better. And the deal that they were hoping to strike was with Giannis Antetokounmpo. That was the splash that they really wanted to make, but they were unwilling to make the trade because of fucking Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Cole. Hugo, hey boy, you better be the first Hugo. Shit, they don't want to trade you for Giannis. So yeah, they trade him for Paul George and a couple first round picks. The return is trash, and everybody is like, why would you do this? Why Celtics? Why? He's like, Colin Coward knows why. Roll the clip.
Brad Stevens is getting crushed. The GM. They obviously wanted Jaylen Brown out of the building. Jaylen Brown, I had 2 NBA sources tonight, 2 people in the league, one executive, one a scout, say that Jaylen Brown it's a disease. He suddenly thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he's in.
A disease. By 2 anonymous sources. The symptom of having a disease consists of just being articulate, thinking, not just shutting up and dribble, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the world, being confident in who you are, asking questions so that you know how things work. That's the disease. That's weird to me, but I know what it is. They hate to see a brother that's real aware, not just be treated like he's some dumb athlete. He want to know the ins and outs of everything, which is respectable. I respect that about Jaylen Brown. We need more athletes like that. And this smear campaign just wasn't with Colin Coward. Stephen A came out and said that Jaylen Brown was not liked around the league. Bobby Marks came out and said that sources told him that for him to be a part of a championship team, he would have to be the 7th best player on the team. Like, what? He was the 1st best player on the team that won a championship before.
Is it not clicking? Is it not clicking?
What? This pattern is weird, and Jaylen Brown has came out and spoke out against it, saying that, hey, the media controls narratives. The media can control how someone is viewed, and it's a big conglomerate. You can't be fooled by it. And the other weird thing or pattern about this whole thing is everybody is using anonymous sources. Nobody putting a name on it. If you don't like somebody, put your name on it. Stamp it. If you a GM, come out and say it. Come out and say it. Say it with your chest, nigga.
Say it with your chest.
So let's talk about this disease. It ain't no Magic Johnson disease. It ain't no damn Arthur Ashe disease. The disease is just being aware, being articulate, thinking, being smart, being confident. Like, that's the disease. So since that's such a disease, let's look at the rap sheet of this disease carrier. Let's see if he needs to be quarantined. Jaylen Brown went to UC Berkeley and took graduate level classes as a freshman. He was also offered an internship at NASA. Hey, that was quite impressive. I've had a couple of internships, but none of them compared to NASA. He became the youngest person ever to teach a lecture at Harvard University. He was also a director at MIT's Media Lab. He's picked up different languages. He also runs his own brand. Salute, JB. Salute for just taking your career into your own hands and not just going with the norm and letting someone else handle everything for you. No, being hands-on. I salute that.
But never mind. I'm lying. I'm part of the media. Lock him up. Lock him up. The man is guilty of reading. Somebody call CDC. We got an outbreak of a guy who knows things other than just dribble the basketball.
You could use me as an example, is not comfortable with the level of authenticity that someone may bring. And I wasn't comfortable myself when I first started. Like, listen.
Another red flag that people have been trying to use against JB is that he goes on live streams and talks to Twitch, talks to the fans directly. He talks to his fans without the media being the middleman. If you want to know what I got to say, come to me. I'll say it. He's got a platform that they can't control, and that's the problem. They don't like that. They don't like that. You don't see the plan. You don't see the whole guys. You don't see this. Stay woke. This whole narrative around JB has been going on for years now. You go back to the 2016 draft, right before Jaylen Brown was drafted or even played his first NBA game, scouts were worried because, from a direct quote, he's too smart to fit in the league. That first of all, that says a lot. That says how scouts view players, how scouts view athletes. They think that they're dumb and just all they're good for is playing basketball. So NBA scouts were seeing this as like, this was a turnoff. Like, this made them go soft. He wants to know why you're doing something instead of just doing it. Wow. Wow. What a horrible thing to do. Like, this shit is weird. This is weird. And this same message is just being reiterated 10 years later. Same coded framing. This smart black man is a problem because he asks questions instead of just doing what he's told. For an entire decade, through a championship, through a finals MVP, through $300 million being made. And the concern stayed exactly the same. It's probably even more scary now that he has that amount of money. Now, let me be real clear and careful with what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that you can't debate basketball or basketball talks are off limits, or is he worth the money? Is he analytically a good player? Like, these are real conversations. The analytical one is kind of stupid. Argue about the basketball, that's fine. But disease isn't a basketball word. That's character. That's personality. And there's a very specific, very old pattern for how outspoken and educated black athletes get talked about when the league decides it's done with them. The phrase is quite common: shut up and dribble. The list of black athletes who have spoke up and gotten labeled as difficult, selfish, a distraction, a cancer, a disease, it is long. I'm telling you that there's coded languages that they may use to steer a certain demographic in that direction and tarnish the image and character of a black man. And when they're dropping words like disease on a guy who all he does is lead protests, run foundations for black kids, put money back into his community, and won't let the media speak for him, you gotta ask, what is the message that they're really trying to get across here? But here's where I stand. You could think the trade was a horrible trade. You can debate whether Jaylen Brown is good analytically, whether he'll fit in with Philly, whether the Celtics are caving in to private equity. But don't throw dirt on a man's character just because he refuses to shut up and dribble and he wants to know about what's going on around him. Jaylen Brown's a champion. He's a finals MVP. He went to UC Berkeley. He's giving lectures. Like, he's well-rounded. So he deserves respect for those things instead of being shitted on for being well-rounded, which is something we rarely see with athletes. If that's what a disease is, God, I hope my future son has that disease. That's all I got for you guys today. It's your boy Jay Lynch, and we out. Salute.